One of the teams that I had as a kind of a sleeper team, dark horse team to potentially get to the playoffs or not the playoffs, but the Super Bowl, and a lot of people really had them the last couple of years as being a Super Bowl dark horse, is the Los Angeles Chargers. I was always kind of hesitant because they'd always seemed to have a lot of hype, but then struggled. And then last year they made it to the playoffs, and they looked good, and they looked like a team that was on the rise. Young talent on defense, Phillip Rivers continuing to orchestrate that offense. And so I picked them to go to the AFC Championship game in my season preview. But since then, they've continued to have some issues that are making you wonder if they really still have that Super Bowl dark horse potential. It all started with Melvin Gordon in his holdout. He wants to be paid. The Chargers are a notoriously stingy organization. They don't want to pay, top dollar. They don't want to, they're very, careful with their money. We saw that with Bosa. He wanted all his money up front. They didn't want to pay it up front. That cost him to miss some regular season games. Now, Melvin Gordon is threatening to sit out an entire year. He's threatening to pull a Le'Veon Bell. That didn't really work too well for him. Now, with the season approaching, the Chargers said, we're done discussing this. We're ending discussions till the end of the year. If you want to seek out a trade, you can. There was rumors that the Texans, and who knows, the way the Texans are going all in, maybe they can offer the rest of their draft to the Chargers to get them. They don't have first-round pick to offer. So, what does this leave Gordon? He has to feel slighted. They're not going to talk to me anymore. They're telling me they don't want me. So is he going to that message to him? Is that going to cause him to say, heck with this, I'm sitting out the season? Now the Chargers do have Austin Eckler, who's filled in nicely at times for the Chargers, but can he be the type of guy that Melvin Gordon had been for this offense? I don't think so. Okay. If they want to make that deep playoff run, they need a healthy, motivated Melvin Gordon. And at this rate, I don't necessarily see that coming. Now, the Chargers have never had this great, fantastic offensive line, but it's always been solid and it's fit with what they wanted to do. A big part of that is their left tackle, Russell Okung, and he had a big-time health scare this offseason with blood clots that, the reports were it could have, ended his life. He's thankfully recovering, but they placed him on the injured non-football injury list. He's likely out the first couple of weeks. Trent Scott, a former undrafted free agent, is set to replace him. But another, situation where you get a guy who's not 100%. Hopefully, he gets to 100% by the time he's back, and he's a big key to this offense. Okay? Not to mention that Derwin James, their standout rookie safety from last year, a true chess piece on this defense, a guy that Gus Bradley moved all around. He's on IR. We saw this coming. He's on IR. He's out the first 6 to 8 weeks. This wasn't. When this first came, I said, and I did a video on Instagram. If you're not subscribed to me on Instagram at draft_Brian, you should. I put a lot of reaction, quick videos out there to NFL news. I did one for Derwin James. I did one for the trades with Clowney this weekend, and the Texans. The Chargers have some depth at safety. They drafted the safety out of Delaware. And he's going to be a guy that comes in and can fill in at times. A true guy, a true, free safety. He played some cornerback, so he's got that ability to kind of be moved around. And I thought that was really going to be helpful for the Chargers to kind of fill in the gap until Derwin James comes back. But a lot of these things are just adding up for the Chargers. It's one thing after another, and they just stuff is starting to snowball, and I still like them a lot, and I still have them going to the playoffs. Okay, but Nasir Adderley, instead of, as much as I like Nasir Adderley, the safety out of Delaware, him compared to Derwin James, there is a big drop off. Derwin James is NFL proven. Nasir Adderley is coming from the FCS level. Okay? Okung, can they get by without him for the first couple weeks? Is he going to be able to get back to 100%? Is Melvin Gordon going to be there? Just too many issues that kind of take it from Super Bowl contender maybe down to a just a playoff team at best.